Television. The good old American time killer. There's nothing quite like sitting in front of a set and turning off control of your own brain for a while, giving in to each and every subliminal command and personality warping mental cue being programmed into the deepest folds of your reptilian brain. Mental manipulation is an art form, really, a practice as old as lying itself. Sometimes we see some truly brilliant examples of educational reprogramming that one can't help but stand up and applaud, mostly due to yesterday's episode ensuring installation of the applause command. But as we move from traditional television platforms to more internet-based media, so too must the practitioners of psychological persuasion and manipulation. The conversion has already begun. Not even our beloved web series are safe from the infiltration, a case already presented by my latest exciting discovery, the retro and sinister CHSS. Broadcasting in the classic 4:3 aspect ratio of yesterday's television set, CHSS is a program dedicated to providing high-quality goods and proper mental support and treatment to everyone that are effective, relevant, and easy to obtain according to their mission statement. What would that mission be exactly? The Psychological Survey Initiative, which you'll find outlined in many of their videos, but only find one sort of direct answer for.
The Psychological Survey Initiative is a program run by CHSS and funded by the US government. Tasked with evaluating the mental health of our citizens, we assess and provide for those who are in need of mental treatment. We believe that maintaining mental healthiness plays a vital role in the security and social stability of our nation. The Psychological Survey Initiative operates through multiple facilities located across the United States to maximize our impact across the population. With your cooperation, we can carry out our activities on a much larger scale. We need your help. Contact us at 202-555-0127 to join us today.
Don't bother trying to call that number. It's a dead line, even if its area code is correct in pinpointing Washington, D.C. as the origin in line with what we're told is the Psychological Survey Initiative's funding backer. I would advise taking a look at the information from the video description, however. Aired from 1/12 to 4/12, Y86. Judging from the appearance of the videos we'll be seeing and another video, Sign Off, Y86 may be a shorthand code for the year 1986. The Sign Off video features patriotic imagery to the tune of the Star-Spangled Banner and is highly characteristic of an old television practice that was used in the 1960s through the mid-1980s. Whereas television stations now run 24 hours a day, most networks used to have set times for broadcasting and would use the national anthem to sign off the air. From all appearances, the footage we're being shown takes place in the 1980s with a specific year of 1986 mentioned already. In the sign-off video, we do get confirmation of the true nature of the piece. It really is a national anthem sign-off indicated by the opening title card. This concludes our broadcast day. The video description here is quite interesting as well. Tune in from 5 a.m. to 12 a.m. daily to catch our broadcasts. We await your viewership. Below this is the network slogan, Begin Anew, which features prominently in their first 3 videos marked advertisements 1, 2, and 3. By what means are the Psychological Survey Initiative treating and evaluating American citizens? Seems like they're taking a few routes, the first of which is a more traditional form of psychiatric treatment.
For your own safety, please do not purchase any pharmaceuticals bearing the CHSS label. CHSS products can only be bought and sold through subscription orders. If you find a pharmacy claiming to sell CHSS products, please inform the local police immediately. Thank you for your cooperation.
Seems like whatever CHSS has been producing in their lab is good enough to sell on the streets. Demand is high enough that the program has to counteract false products, or they just don't want anyone gaining access to the medication without their complete knowledge of it. The secondary form of treatment seems to be coming right through your television. Observe supplementary media number 423, but be careful if you're wearing headphones. The noises do get pretty high-pitched. And at the end of this supplemental media programming comes my favorite part. Ready? Wait for it. Yes, there it is. I love that. You can catch that sound at the end of just about every video on the channel, and it's at the point now where I eagerly await for the tone at the end of new videos. Almost like I've been conditioned to wait for it, to anticipate that noise. It's pretty prevalent, but there are a few videos where it isn't included. The first is a video answering what the Psychological Survey Initiative actually is. Understandable, as there's already music playing for that video, and the final note would disrupt that calm atmosphere. As for the other video, Beta Safety Tip number 64, it's better seen than described. Seems like that footage was a little bit misplaced, right? The video clips are of American airplanes dropping bombs. The text we see is in Russian, and when translated says, "Famous hypocrites." More information is found below in the video description. Due to complications, Reel has not been finished and is not to be broadcasted. Below is a Meteor Fire link to a photo taken of an inter-office note. Roy, Reel 17A to 23B has been tampered with somehow. There's been spliced footage and audio on every single one of them. They're practically useless now. Those were the originals, and we have no other duplicates of them, so we have to remake them, 7 in all. We don't know who tampered with them, but it's got to be one of the editing team. The police are starting investigations tomorrow. Also, there's something really interesting you should know. The editing job that person did was very consistent. At the 30-second mark, the whole thing cuts out to old Vietnam and World War II footage with really weird audio. There's also some Russian text, but I don't understand Russian, so I can't tell what it says. It's the same text for every single one of them. I'm going to find someone who speaks Russian to translate for me soon, so hang tight. I'm sending the damaged reels to the archive for now. You can check them if you want. Their number is redacted. But don't tell anybody else. Daniel. So, we know for sure where the footage came from, and we know this wasn't something we were meant to see. The message to Roy comes from Daniel, a name we see shortly after this from a video segment titled Customer Testaments.
Well, it started in June. The hallucinations at first were little flashes of light, like stars, but they weren't very frequent then. But as time went on, they started to become more serious. I did see an eye doctor, but they couldn't find any actual physical symptoms, like it wasn't a cataract or something, it was all in my head. It got worse. It's like it started becoming like when I blinked, I felt I saw someone in the corner of my eyes. When I looked there, there's nobody. The only thing I could remember were antlers. Large antlers sticking out. Anyway, it got real bad. Now doctors knew what was going on with me. I found a program after 2 months of this. One of my friends recommended it to me. He thought it would be like a very good treatment. It really helped suppress some of my symptoms. The medicine was very effective. I don't see the lights anymore. I don't see that figure anymore. I was extremely glad when they said the symptoms would go away in about a few more weeks. Yeah, I can say the program was worth my money. Yes, absolutely.
Daniel appears to have joined up with CHSS after a successful round of treatment, making him a good candidate for the author of the message. Seeing that he now works as a media manager, it makes it even more likely that this is who's writing to Roy about an intruder in the editing room. Daniel is a good hire. Beyond the obvious tampering with the visuals, there is something strange about that audio. Speeding it up by about 3 times reveals a clip of music. There's a distinct quality of rising tension in this music, as if something is coming closer. Whoever used this chose it for a reason. It may also be that whoever's edited the plane footage has a grudge against Daniel. This isn't the only time video from CHSS has been altered. You may remember Daniel saying that he dealt with a very specific hallucination, something to do with a figure that had antlers. In the very last frame of the video sign-off, we see this, a very prominent pair of antlers. This image appears again in the video, supplemental media number 522, during a very brief flash. And that's not the last of the subtle interruptions. At the end of the mission statement video, we catch a single frame displaying this. The Russian text can be translated to the sentence, "Here I am." It's worth noting that this message appears in the video directly after beta safety tip number 64, which comes right after Daniel notices there's an intruder in the editing room and informs Roy. Daniel wants to find out who's been splicing footage into the videos? Well, here they are. This face might look a bit familiar too. It appears to be a zoomed-in version of the base figure of the antlers image we saw earlier in better definition. Just after the customer testments video with Daniel comes what seems to be another broadcast interruption titled Unisolated Incident. Did you catch that odd image at the end? Looks like antlers again. There are a few more oddities on the CHSS channel to explore, including what may be a hidden message in a spectrogram from supplementary media number 423. As far as spectrograms go, this could be a lot cleaner if a message was embedded, but it certainly looks like something is here. Particularly this piece looking like the letter P, which is a Russian letter standing for our letter R. If any audio specialists feel like taking a crack at it for themselves, the clip starts at 101 during supplementary media 423 and ends at 107. Due to the audio being attached to what appears to be more inserted media by the editing room intruder, I'm thinking there just may be a message inside there. But remember, we're talking in Russian for these codes. If you find anything, try to match it to the Russian alphabet using their letters and then run it through a translator. CHSS is one of my favorite news series. It seems to all at once be a mind control program through television, a sinister corporation story, and a monster tale. The figure with antlers that Daniel used to hallucinate is clearly around, and the way it's being dealt with is so uniquely subtle in comparison to most web series. It's a thrill to find more clues to this creature's existence, and the passing movements over characters and activity among CHSS gives us a unique viewer perspective. For once, it feels as if we're actually digging through lost media or secret documents ourselves. This outsider perspective produces an awesome feeling of being a spy, and I really enjoy what's being done here. It's very tough to engage an audience while keeping them at arm's length, but CHSS is making it work. And as long as this series keeps the sense that we're digging through material we weren't supposed to get our hands on, that mystery and intrigue will only get more intense. I will honestly say that I don't know how this story is going to turn out, what shape it's forming into, or what we're going to see next. But that's the beauty of it. It could be mind-controlled television, it could be a sinister psychiatric medication company, it could be government conspiracy, it could be all of these things at once. But there's a big secret in this tale, and there's an original monster with a subtle, unique approach that is a giant breath of fresh air. As longtime viewers of web series looking for new material know very well, it can be cool to see media hijacking villains, but there are only so many guys in spray-painted masks and hoodies pointing cameras at themselves that we can take. I don't know what CHSS is going to form into, but I really enjoy the shape it's presenting, and I've been subscribed for a few months now. Definitely give this one a look and subscribe if you think it's as cool as I do. When it comes to being original and telling a new story in a new way, CHSS appears to know precisely what they're doing and doing it right. I want to see awesome things come of this, and I suspect we're going to. They've already earned my trust. You can click here to be taken to the channel or on my link in the video description below. Remember to subscribe if you like what you watch. This series keeps showing me interesting new things, and if you're interested as well, you don't want to miss out on any new developments. Thanks again for joining me in the dark this evening. Once more, I'm Nick Nocturne, and like a hallucination you thought you cured, I'll be back again real soon. Sleep tight.